Hi everybody, my name is Susana Passinhas. I'm a UX design educator, mentor and coach. I have worked as a designer for 16 years, and in the past years I started to teach and mentor students from all over the world, and I noticed that there are a lot of common questions and doubts about specific topics. So I decided to create a series of videos covering those questions and needs in the hopes of you build a strong foundation into the core ideas, concepts, and principles of design.
So, what is a flow? A flow is a sequence of steps the user takes to achieve a goal using your product or service. Okay, this is the first thing we need to know. Okay, we do task flows and user flows before we do the screens. Okay, before we do the wireframes. The purpose of task flows and user flows is to help you set the foundation of your screens, okay? To understand in a higher level which pages and actions your users needs to take in order to move from one page to the other, okay? Now, what is the difference between task flows and user flows? A task flow is usually one task that is linear, okay? So there are no multiple paths, everything goes well, okay? And it shows a screen or a screen state and an action, okay? So if you think about something like sending an email, for example, you would have a screen, an action, a screen, an action, a screen, an action until you send that email, okay? A user flow will be also a sequence of steps to achieve something, to achieve a goal, but what happens here is that we can show multiple paths to achieve that goal, okay? So it becomes a bit more complex. You can have a task flow and a user flow of the same goal that the user is performing, okay? Even though typically task flows are more to smaller goals, okay? Edit something, delete something, yeah? And user flows are normally used for more complex things, okay? So let's understand a little bit here also the legend, okay? You already know as a designer you'll work with a lot of people, okay? Designers, product managers, developers. All of the people you'll be working with, especially developers, already understand, well, even designers of course, will understand which symbols represent what when it comes to flows, okay? So I want you to understand that typically if you use a square or rectangle, it represents a page, okay? So let's add here page, okay? Or let's say a screen or a screen state, okay? What is a screen state? Well, it means you are in the same screen but in a different state. So for example, imagine you are in a home page and you are searching for something. Imagine it's a travel website, okay? When you open that page, it has a state, okay? It's not, the search is not active, the user didn't do anything, okay? But when you start typing in the location you want to go, it changes the state. The search is active, so that could be a state of that page, okay? Good. So, when you use rectangles or squares, this is typically to show a page of the website, a screen, or a screen state, okay? Now, often we use a circle for actions, okay? Actions are something that the user is doing, okay? Are they clicking something, touching something, writing something in an input text field, okay? Think about as actions or interactions, okay? This is okay, yeah? Think about it as the perspective of the user interacting with your product, okay? And your product shows himself, let's say, through pages, okay? Then we have a diamond. A diamond, this is where I see most confusion. A diamond stands for a decision. Now, something that is very important here for you to understand flows truly is that we are thinking about the flows from the perspective of the system, meaning the website or the app or whatever product you are working at. Okay, so it's not from the user perspective. Think that you are the computer or the mobile phone showing this to the user. Okay, I think this is the best way for people to understand flows and how to design them. Okay, how to build them. Okay, of course you can have more details in your legend. Okay, maybe you want to have also system actions. For example, when web page is loading, that's an action of the system, not from the user. So you can create variations. Okay, maybe you can have also the circle for system actions. Okay, for example, if you need, and maybe you give it a different color. Okay, know that know that the main thing you need to know, it's the rectangle, okay, the circle for actions, and the decision. Okay, the decision is something I also want to discuss a little bit. Yeah, the decision has to do with the decision that happens between the user and the system that impacts the flow or the path they will follow in the flow. Okay, it's not your user thinking about what to do. Okay, remember, we are thinking about this from the perspective of the system. Okay, you are assuming that your user, when they go to you, to the system, they already have a goal. They want to do something. They want to send an email, for example. Okay, so you shouldn't think that the decision is to be used for the user thinking, should I do this or not? Should I scroll or not? You can assume that yes, your user has a goal and is gonna follow the steps to accomplish that. Okay. When we talk about decisions, we talk about things that will impact which page the user will see. For example, is the user registered already? Yes, then straight to the home page. No, then you have to present to them the sign up flow, registration flow before they see the home page. Okay, so this is a moment where it's crucial, okay, to understand what the system is going to show to the user. Okay, for example, if you are designing a flow for something that you have to pay, yeah, so and you add your credit card details, it's important to know did the payment went through or not, because if it yes went well, you show the confirmation. If not, you have to send the user back to the previous page. Okay, so this is the type of things you want to consider when it comes to the decision. Yeah, now let's very quickly do here a flow just so that things are a bit more clear. Okay, I already know that this represents a page and this represents an action. When we are talking about, I'm going to write here, task flows, you already know they are linear. Okay, so what does that mean? You will not use the decision. Okay, it's always page action, or screen action. So let's say we are sending an email. Okay, so what do I see? I see the home page of the email that you are using, of Gmail, for example. Okay, then what is the user doing? Well, if imagine that we are writing a new email. Okay, so I'm going to complete this a little bit more. Writing a new email and send it. Okay, so I see the home page of the email. What I have to click compose, for example. Okay, depending on which email we are talking about, but let's click compose so we can write an email. What would we see next? What would we see next? Let me just drag it here. We would see the we would see the empty writing email kind of box or page. No, let's just call it empty. Write new email. Better. Write new email. Okay. Good. Then what does the user do? Well, they're gonna write the email. Okay, that's their action. They're gonna input, yeah, the content. Yeah. Then what would they do? They write the email. Okay, they are still in this page, and maybe when they finish writing the email, they actually click on send. Or maybe they add the person, the contact, okay, add the contact to whom they are sending the email, and then they are back to the home page of the email. Okay, so this would be a very simple task flow. Okay, of course now I'm not looking into the email, but more or less by heart I would think it's something like this. Okay, now we can think about user flows. Okay, user flows is just as I was telling you, can be a little bit more complex. So let's say user is logging in or let me think, maybe a user is they want to use Instagram, for example. Okay, so they want to send a post, send a post to a friend on Instagram. Okay, so in here, let's just copy paste those. So when we open the app, we can say we are in the home page, okay, of Instagram. I'm gonna keep up the caps. Home page. Okay, then in the home page, the user clicks. Well, first of all, the user might be registered or not, right? So let's just double check that. Yeah, so what do we use here? We use a diamond. Okay, is the user registered, or does the user have an account? Does the user has an account? So from here, okay, if yes, we send them. So this is the yes. Okay, you can write it here. Yes. And then you do another one for no. No. If no, we send them somewhere else. Usually we use the diamond because the points allow us to send to various places. Okay, so if they have an account, they see the home page of the user. No, if not, they would see the registration page. No, okay, and then they will probably add all the steps that they need to add here. Okay, so add username, type in, yeah, to make it more concrete, type in username, type in email, okay, and whatever they have, okay. Now imagine that in this registration, actually, and you see this a lot, the sign up pages, email, and you can go by Google account, Facebook login, okay, all of these things. So in here maybe they are more root, okay. Now you can do this by simply just doing something like this, totally fine. All of these come from here. Or you can also do something with the diamonds, okay? But in this case, I recommend you to do something like this because you can choose these paths, okay? So maybe here you can register with the email. In here, maybe you can register with Facebook. And in here, you can maybe register with Gmail, okay? And so on and so on and so on, okay. So this is how I'm not gonna complete it because I want to keep this video short, but this is how we would do it, okay. So user flows, there are more paths, okay, to achieve something, and we use the diamond from more from the perspective of the system and not to refer to what the user is thinking or the choices they are making. You can assume that they have a specific goal and they will use your system, your app or website to do it. And to do it, they will go through pages and they will do certain actions so they can move on from page to another page until they accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. Okay? Task flows are linear, okay, and they usually are just screens, action, screen, action, okay? This will always depend, of course, of what you're doing. Yeah, both can be done for the same task, but most commonly the task flows are for smaller, let's say micro goals, okay, and user flows are for a bit more complex things, okay, where you have different paths. Now, the main shapes you should use are, once again, square for pages, for action circle, and the decision, it's a diamond. Of course, you can have other things depending. For example, maybe you want to show that the website is loading and you can use the system actions. If it's still an action, well, let's just change the color, yeah, and we label it here, okay? The most important idea that I wanted to say today is that think about the task flows and user flows from the perspective of the system, not the user. You are presenting the screens to the user and they will navigate through it in order to accomplish what they want to accomplish, okay? It's not for you to design it or to do it from the perspective of the user where they are thinking if they want to do something or not, okay. It's not that. You can assume that yes, they want to do a specific thing and these are the steps they have to go through or the possible steps that they can encounter depending on their situation or the context, okay, like this one here, okay. I hope this video was helpful. Just one another thing I wanted to say is also very common, for example, to have a start and end, okay, just to make sure there's no confusion about where the flow starts or ends, okay. You can use the circle, the heart, the star, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that it's super clear that or that you are ending and finishing, well, and starting, sorry, in a specific place, okay? This avoids confusion about where the task is starting or ending, okay? Especially when things start to be more complex, like this one, the user flows, okay? So in this case, we didn't complete it, but I think you got the message. Let me just... So make sure, Okay, this should be straight. Oh, it's annoying me. So this was the only thing that I wanted to add here. Okay, you can find templates for sure on Figma and so on. Just make sure you do not confuse the decision and you don't get confused about the perspective you should be thinking when you are creating the task flows and user flows. So in here, actually, of course, we would need to have the send button. Okay, so without the send, they could not see the home page again. Okay, the user would not be um, filling in their goal. Okay, so I just want to add this here so there's no confusion. Okay. Now it's okay. Perfect. Now in here, I didn't complete this one, but I want you just to understand a little bit how it goes with the diamond and so on. One important thing that I still want to say about this is that typically when we use the diamond, we use a question, and the question is followed by a yes or no path. Okay, this is 99% of the cases where you would use a diamond. Okay, so whenever you are using a diamond, make a question that follows a yes or no path after it. Okay, that will be the easier way for you to approach that. Okay, now yes, we are done. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you clarify a little bit your doubts about this topic. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at UX/UI with Susana Passinhas. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn as well. It's Susana Passinhas. You can check my services. I have mentorships and programs specially tailored for junior designers, okay? At www.susanapassinhas.com. I leave all the information below. Thank you. Bye.